that music sounds so good.
I know, doesn't
It's
it?
amazing. It
It's
does.
amazing.
Jeannie, you look like you're enjoying that music a lot.
Could be
As
my
you
son.
should. That's right, because your son made this music. Mad Max Caselli. We love you. I know, I feel like, Jeannie, I feel like your kids are imprinted all over my life because, number one, Max, of course, made us this music, which was amazing. And then number two, your daughter is our architect for our basement remodel. So, yay! I know, your kids are amazing.
Awesome.
We would be completely lost without them. It is that is 100% true. So, what are you going to do?
Seriously.
So yes, indeed. So, happy Sunday, everybody. We're back. For those of you that are our regular listeners, you might have noticed that Ann and I were not here. We left you with a rerun last week. I'm not sorry because I was eating at Meritage at the time that we were normally supposed to be having a show, and it was everything I hoped it would be and more. We'll talk about that in a minute, though, because we'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, I'm Jeannie's brothers. With me is Ann Brothers, and we have special guests today, Jeannie and Jackie, who are also sisters. You guys, it's like they're sisters. This show is just dripping with sisters today. So high five yourselves, and we'll high five ourselves because yes, we have special guests. They're going to be talking about their journey on the Appalachian Trail that they just took recently. So specifically, we have with us Jackie White and Jeanne Caselli. So welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So really looking forward to talking to you. And of course, with me is my sister, Ann Brothers.
Hey, and Duncan in the background.
Hey, yo, Duncan Williams, what's up, man?
Hey.
That is our Duncan Williams. He is a loquacious lad. That one is. Yes, I just said loquacious lad.
Nice.
I'm on fire. I'm on
you
fire
are.
today.
Word of the day. Yeah.
Word of the day is yeah, y'all. Ooh, all right. Well, we don't want to waste your time. We want to get right into this because I have lots of questions and Ann has lots of questions and we have lots of pictures to look at, including an illicit photo of Jeannie's ass. But, but we'll get to that. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. All right. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the stage so you can see. Oops, that's actually not what I wanted to show you. But, what are you going to do? We'll go back to the very beginning. That's what I want to show you.
There we go.
All right, there we go. Yes, we are talking about Appalachian Trail adventures with Jackie and Jeannie today. But before we get started, Ann, would you like to take our listeners through our introduction?
I'd be happy to. Hi,
Good,
everybody.
drink this beer.
Okay, good. We're Ann and Jeannie's brothers. Our last name is Brothers, and we are sisters. It's not a trick of the imagination. We're in our 50s, Generation X, which means we lived dangerously through Pop Rocks. So, yes, we did drink Coca-Cola and eat Pop Rocks at the same time and lived to tell the tale.
I'm telling it right now. It was amazing.
Exactly. It was amazing.
So foamy.
We talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, and fun stuff, or any combination of the three. We are not cool, hip, or sexy. We know this because we walk 5Ks. We do not run 5Ks. Running, the only time you run is if a zombie is chasing you, and then you just run for a little while, and then you get tired of it, and you turn around and you kill the zombie with some rebarb instead of running, because running is that terrible. All right,
love it.
We're not a celebrity.
Oh, wait, and I'm gonna interrupt you for a second because I really want to go back and talk about the Pop Rocks thing. That's not a little thing for me. That's a big thing because in third grade when the whole rumor came out that Mikey from the Life commercials died drinking Coke and eating Pop Rocks, it really was like.
I believe it was.
Was
Pepsi.
it Pepsi? Okay, thank you. Very good. I think you're right. That the first time I did that, I really felt like the thrill of possibly dying. I'm like, this could be the end for me. And I don't care because I had to know what it was like. So, yeah. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, Jennifer.
On the edge.
Yeah. Well,
yes. Living on the edge.
We were two small town girls in Southwest Michigan.
Like the first time I did Coke.
What do you say?
You said it's like the first time we did Coke. We are not, as I will go back to, we are not cool, hip, or sexy because, Jenny, have you ever done Coke?
Well, I don't know. Do you count snorting Pop Rocks as Coke? I'm asking for a friend. because burning. Okay, no, I've never snorted either. I'll be honest with you, because I've never really liked. Okay, well, let's go back to this. One of the reasons I never snorted anything is because um, when I was in high school, I had a blood vessel in my nose that was really weak, and you could just tap my nose and it would start bleeding. So they cauterized that blood vessel in my nose by sticking a stick of I think it was like silver nitrate or something up your nose and burning it shut. And after that experience, I really didn't want anything going back up my nose ever again. So Coke was out of the question.
All right. Well, we really digressed here. Me? No.
Sorry, you
God,
guys.
I don't want anything going up my nose, flying at my face, anything like that. So all right. We're not a celebrity, influencer, or true crime podcast. You can tell by the conversation we just had. We're the anti-pop culture of podcasts. All this you didn't know you cared about. That's what we talk about. We are great to listen to. Yes, we are great to listen to when you want to learn things about stuff. And because my friend Jill wants to hear us talk about food and eating, and we will, even if that's not the theme of the show. In fact, we already started by talking about eating pop rocks. So, Jill, that one's for you. And I'm sure we'll talk about more food before the show is over. So she's like, I listen to you guys because you always talk about food. And I was like, all right, we can do that. This podcast is not G, PG, or even PG-13, if you haven't already guessed, because today we're talking with two fucking awesome and amazing women. So there you go.
And I said ass.
All right. Join us on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Like us, follow us, hit the bell, and leave us a review. Give us your feedback with our Q&A and our polls, and ask Alexa to play us, and she'll do it. She's our bitch.
I'm gonna keep saying things like that until she actually controls my life, which she almost does. So she's close. Almost. Another year. Yeah, actually, she'll be making my pie.
Yeah. Ooh, yay!
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Yes, you guys remember, please, supporting us costs you nothing. All you have to do is like us, subscribe, follow on these things: Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. That's it. You don't have to give us money or anything. But what we would ask you to do is to go ahead and tell the people on your friends list, share it with them, ask them to share it, because then, you get into like the whole multipliers and math stuff, and then boom, all of a sudden, we have bazillions of followers, which is kind of what we like, because, it's fun having followers.
Yeah.
Yes, bazillions. If that's even a word. So do that for us, please and thank you. All right. Okay, and let's talk about our smart, dumb, fun stuff that we did this week, or, whatever. I'm going to start with you.
Actually, I did something fun. My in-laws, my brother-in-law, John, and his wife, Liz, who is also my good friend, they have a pool at their house. And this is the first time I got to use the pool. It was heated. It was like 72, 73 degrees outside. The pool was 89 degrees. So we literally bobbed around for 4 hours. And then we ate pizza in the pool. And they also have a hot tub. Okay, Jenny, remember when we were little and we used to go to Kathy Warneman's house because she had an above-ground pool? And I remember thinking one time, the only way that a pool could get any better is if there was a TV while you were swimming, like a TV. And I was like, that seemed so outlandish. And so I'm like, it seemed like going to the moon was more realistic than us ever enjoying a pool with a TV. And guess what my in-laws have outside with their pool, Jenny Brothers?
TV.
A TV. So you know what we did while we bobbed around in the pool eating pizza? We watched the Olympics.
Oh my God, that's amazing! Which event did you watch?
Oh, we watched some of the women's marathon, because Duncan kept telling us that what was it? The Netherlands had won, and we're like, no way, she's not from the Netherlands. We were racist, and it turns out she was.
Well, and didn't she win like bronze medals in 2 other events or something ridiculous like that? Yeah. It's like she won bronze medal. Yeah, just like amazing.
A machine.
Yes.
Yeah. And then there's like
a lot of long distance and short distance medal winners. That's amazing.
Yeah. So Yeah, so that was it was I was like bobbing around on my pool noodle, eating some Little Caesars, thinking I am living my 9-year-old self's dream. Like I said, small town. We had small dreams. So there you go.
So, and I have good news for you.
Mhm.
So I was, been reading all this stuff about how you have this generation, or kids now don't have the life that was better than their parents. And you have a life that was better than your parents. I'm
I,
just saying.
exactly. I was like, look at me. I was like, could not. It wasn't my pool, but I know people who have pools and TVs next to their pools. So
And are willing to share those things with you, which is
exactly.
you're living your best life. So
Yeah.
well
So
done. Oprah would
it
be so
was.
proud of you.
I know it was super fun. I had a great time, and I was like, this is. I'm like, I could get
This is
used to
the
somebody
best.
else's pool because I don't really want my own pool, but I could totally get used to somebody else's pool.
I understand they take a lot of maintenance and work, and I
Yeah,
don't want to work that hard. I want to enjoy somebody else's pool. So good. All
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Mhm.
All right. So my fun thing this week, you guys, so much food, but I'm going to throw some props out to East Egg Campus here in Kalamazoo. It's the little restaurant that could. But before they do that, I'm going to digress for a second and talk about what I was doing. We showed a rerun last week rather than doing a live show. And the show that we did was specifically about Julia Child because her birthday was on the 15th. Happy 112th birthday, Julia Child. And to celebrate her birthday, Joe and I went to a place called Meritage, which is a French restaurant in St. Paul, Minnesota, and it was divine. I introduced my husband to escargot, and I think he liked it. But better yet, the escargot comes with just a mountain of delicious buttery stuff to dip your bread in. So we loved that. But I was at East Egg Campus twice this week, and then once the week before. So I'm going to throw some props out. This is my favorite place to have breakfast in Kalamazoo. It is amazing. It's on the corner of Howard and Michigan, right across from Western's campus, and they just do a great job. Their food is great. The staff is always awesome. They have very competitive prices, and you should go there. So there's a picture of the staff right there. And I keep forgetting to ask the lady on the right wearing the Western Michigan shirt. I've had her as a server many times, and I keep forgetting to ask her name. Shame on me. But I really love that place. The food is great. I highly
Mhm.
recommend building your own omelet. And getting an omelet with sausage gravy on it is delicious.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The pancake of the month was banana split pancakes. Yeah.
Yes. They have something called pizza puff fries. I don't know what those are, and I keep threatening to get them and try
Mhm.
them. I'm gonna have to. So
And they do talk about how their breakfast nachos are hangover cures.
yes. So yeah,
Yeah. So Jill, that's all for you.
that was entirely for Jill. Everybody
Uh,
else, thank you for listening, but Jill, that was entirely aimed at you. Pizza puff fries, whatever those are.
puffs.
So
Pizza
okay.
puffs and fries, Jenny. It's pizza puffs and
God, that's
fries.
right. I keep wanting
Uh-huh.
to do pizza puff fries, which I
Uh-huh.
really want those more than anything. So my needs are simple. Just give me pizza puff fries. Okay.
And mine are
All
too.
right.
Pool with a TV.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Easy to please. That's been my trademark for a very long time. Okay, good. All right. Well, let's start talking about the Appalachian Trail because that's what we're talking about right now. We're going to be talking with Jackie and Jeannie. Let's talk Appalachian Trail. Let's go to there. All
Okay.
right. And you want to talk about the facts of the Appalachian Trail, or do you
Yeah,
know them?
I looked up
Okay.
some facts, in case you're not familiar with it. I have a little picture here of a map, and the trail is 2,198.4 miles long. So this is not, you can like hop and on off the trail like for a day, trek if you want to do that. But the hardcore try to trek the whole darn thing. So yeah, it's a big trail. It passes through 14 different states. So it's not just in the South. I think a lot of people think, oh, it's just a Southern trail, but it goes all the way up, I think, into Maine. Is that true? Yeah. So, it goes all the way north, practically to Canada. The Appalachian Trail is the largest and longest running volunteer conservation project in the world. So,
It's awesome.
volunteers. I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
The elevation gain and loss of hiking the entire trail is equivalent to climbing Mount Everest 16 times. So it's a workout.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So the trail cuts through one of the oldest mountain ranges on the planet, and you're more likely to run into black bears in New Jersey. Of all the spots on the trail, New Jersey, the Garden State, because petrochemical state won't fit on a license plate.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Yay.
So now you know. Now you know.
Okay.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Really? New Jersey. Fun
New
fact. Okay,
Jersey.
I
Fun
just learned
fact.
something
Yeah.
about that. Now, all right, Jackie and Jeannie, did you guys get to New Jersey on yours? Did you?
Not this year. We were in the north part of Massachusetts, and then we hiked all of Vermont
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. And how?
into Hanover, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
That's impressive.
Mhm.
All right.
That is very impressive.
Okay.
In
So what I'm going to
2019.
do,
I hiked New Jersey in 2019 and saw 2 bear then.
Oh, see, there you go. 2
New
bears.
Jersey. There we go.
Both of them. Both bears were out that day.
But we did hear
And my-
from other people on the trail that they saw the most bears in New Jersey. In New Jersey, yeah.
Wow.
So that's just truthity truth.
It's
All
actually
right, so it is. So you guys, the question will appear down on the screen, so you'll be able to see it. And then some of the questions are going to be for both of you, and I think we have one question each that is just specific for you guys. So we'll go ahead and start with this question. And this is a standard question that we ask all of our guests. And then this is for both of you. So please tell us something smart, something fun, and something dumb. Go.
Go ahead. Something smart. We always hung our food. So there's like several ways to deal with your food out there. Some people carry a bag that they can just tie to a tree that's supposed to be bear proof. They can't claw through it. And they're heavy though, especially when they get wet if they're hanging in a tree.
Okay, so Jackie, I'm going to interrupt you real quick. This can be about your hike, or it can be about just anything. So smart, dumb, or fun. So if you want to branch off before you really get into Appalachian Trail stuff, now's the time.
Yeah, something smart. No, that's okay.
Yeah, you're doing great. If that's what you want to keep going with that,
Mhm.
because yeah, I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah,
Spe-
so yeah, I'll just keep talking about that. Yeah, and some people carry a bear canister, which is also heavy and bulky, and so they either strap them to their backpacks or they're inside their packs. But we have bear bags, and we also had aroma-proof bags that insert into those that we would hang those at the end of every day, unless we were in a shelter that had a bear box. So, well, there's a lot of people out there that don't deal with their food; they'll sleep with it, and it's just like we don't understand that. So
Living
that was one
dangerously.
step we did.
Okay.
And it's always an adventure hanging your food at the end of a day when you're tired.
I'll bet.
Something smart. Also, we filtered our water. We would, whenever we ran into a river, we would decide if we needed more water, and we would use our Sawyer water filters.
Nice.
There's a bag that you attach. You fill the water bag with water, and then you screw this on, and then you can either drink right out of this, or you can filter it into another bottle. So normally we would filter it into some smart water bottles.
Yeah, and these screw right onto a smart water bottle. And so you can just squeeze your smart water bottle and drink out of it.
That's cool.
That's wild.
Something fun.
Something fun. Something fun. Did I do something fun? Oh. Yeah, when you're out there, you're like, this isn't fun. Seriously, it's not. But we tried to stop and notice nature as much as we could. We both love listening to birds and trying to figure out what birds we were hearing, and so we both have that Merlin app. So
Merlin app rules.
Learned a few new birds while we were out there. That was really cool.
And just learning, just meeting all the people along the trail. It's incredible. Just hearing their stories.
Yeah, that's like the best part is the people you meet.
The fun thing, yeah.
So really cool from all over the world. There were a lot of people from Florida.
There was a ton of people from Florida this time.
Yeah.
And then dumb.
Something dumb.
My feet hurt every day. That's dumb.
Yeah,
they still hurt. My feet still hurt.
Sorry.
Something dumb. So we knew there was a storm coming through. So we were approaching a shelter that we didn't want to go further, and we knew that this particular shelter had leaks in it. So we got to the shelter in the nick of time before the rain came through. And this was really, really stupid on my part. We set up our tents ahead of time, knowing we didn't want to stay in the shelter because there were many leaks in the shelter. So we set up our tents, and then we went back to the shelter to cook our dinner. And during that time, this pretty big squall came through and really big wind. And so I went to check on my tent during that time, got drenched, even though I had a raincoat on, and noticed part of my tent had tipped over, and the things inside got pretty wet, but gratefully not drenched. And if it had been cold, that would have been a very big mistake.
Thankfully, the whole time we were there, it was warm, it was hot.
It was warm. So, but if it had been cold, that would have been a big mistake. Like, we should have just hung out in the shelter till it passed, and even though it was leaking, we could have sat in there with rain gear on. So that was dumb. I felt so stupid after that. Like, you just don't make those kinds of mistakes when you're not near any kind of way to get out of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
Gotcha.
dumb.
Alrighty.
Okay. All right. That was your smart, dumb, fun stuff. All right. So one last question that deals kind of off the rails here. I need to know your spirit animals.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mine's a dolphin again. I like swimming. I like dolphining in the water.
Like purposing.
We used to do that like nonstop
On Torch.
on Torch Lake, nonstop. I don't know how we had the energy to just do that.
Sweet, sweet youth.
Yes. Indeed.
So I related mine to the trail, and the only thing I could think of is how cool it would be to be a giraffe, because they have hoofs, and so your feet wouldn't get hurt.
Oh.
And they also have really, really long legs, so it would be like nothing to climb some of the mountains we climbed.
Nice.
So,
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. Now I have to imagine a giraffe on the Appalachian Trail. Oh, there it is.
although you was constantly hitting your face and neck with all the trees, they do call it the green tunnel, and so you're constantly in the shade, almost like 95% of the time you're in the shade.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
So
nice.
yeah, so a giraffe would be a dumb thing to be too. Yeah.
You'll have
It would
you'll
have
have
its
to find
moments.
something with a hoof with a slightly shorter leg so that you wouldn't whack the trees all the time. So,
Yeah.
Moose.
Right.
Duncan says moose.
Okay.
You
A
wanted
moose is kind of like a giraffe, but for the woods. Okay, you're a woods giraffe.
So bad, and we didn't get to see one.
We saw lots of moose scat. We would have loved to have seen one, but never did.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Mhm.
Anne, would you like to take the next question?
I would love to. Jackie, can you tell us how you got interested in hiking the Appalachian Trail?
Oh, sure. So before I got married, I always wanted to do a big trip, something in the U.S., maybe cross country. So I used to be into biking, tour biking. I wanted to bike across the U.S. and never got that opportunity, with panniers and camping along the way.
Mhm.
So that never happened. Loved the idea of hiking and backpacking. And I think when the book Into the Woods, is it with Into the Woods? Yeah, with the one they made the movie of with Nick Nolte and Robert Redford.
Mhm.
When that book came out, which was quite a while before the movie came out, that kind of sparked my interest. And then I found out some acquaintances of ours who lived in Colorado hiked the whole Continental Divide Trail from Mexico to Canada. And so that was a big, big dream of mine, was to do that. And, life happens, got married, had kids, and then I happened to be running a daycare. I remember Jeannie and I we took my mom to see that movie with Robert Redford. A Walk in the Woods. Thank you. And I told Jeannie, I turned to my sister at the end of the movie. I'm like, I'm going to do that. And she's just kind of looked at me like, whatever, Jackie. And so I spent the next couple of years like watching tons of videos and YouTubes and gear reviews and tons of that kind of thing. And then weird coincidences started happening. I'd be at a thrift store and spot a book that just happened to be about the Appalachian Trail, like just a non-popular book that I ended up reading. Just weird things. Someone gave me a mug that said hike your own trail. I didn't know I was planning on thinking about doing this, and just weird coincidence started happening. And I was running a daycare at the time, decided to quit that and sell as much stuff as I could, sell my house, and hit the trail.
Wow.
That's
Damn.
cool.
Mhm.
That is like, okay.
All or nothing. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well done.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
You need to write a
So-
book. I would read that book. I would read that
I
book
would
in a
too.
hot second. Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, I would. Write that book. Read it.
Jackie.
All right, I'll work on it.
You write a book.
Yay.
You write a book. Okay.
You should.
No, because
So-
I think of myself as a failure. I didn't finish. I still haven't.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
I was like, Icarus still flew. You do know that, right? I mean, everybody talks
I would
about
like
how
to
he didn't
point
reach
something
the
out
sun,
real-
but let's point out that he did fly. Success. Look at that. Exactly.
That looks like success to me, because it
It
looks
looks
to me
like
like you've hiked 1,000 miles of that trail. Is that correct?
It's more now.
That was that year in 2019. And then I hiked 2 years ago. I did a chunk of New Hampshire, which is like one of the toughest states. I hiked almost 100 miles on that 2 years ago. And then Jeannie and I did almost 180. So I've done a total of almost 1,300 so I still have like 900 miles to go.
I'd
Yeah, but
also
look
like
at-
to point out,
But look at
Jackie,
Okay, good.
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'd also like to point out, Jackie, that mug said hike your own trail. And this is not about finishing a trail. It's about the journey that you've taken.
It is about the journey.
And that journey is story worthy. And none of us can do, like, we all think, oh, if we don't do it this way, it's somehow not right. But
Yeah.
that's not true. And if more people were willing to tell their stories of how they made their trail, I think more people would feel like, oh, maybe I can make my trail too. So you would actually be doing everybody a favor.
That's a good point.
I think
And
she's
brothers, life
finish
coach.
anyway.
Life coach.
Life
Yeah.
coach and brothers life coach. Do as I
Hero.
say.
Hero.
You're hired.
You're welcome. No, I mean it, but I mean that though. I mean, so there you go. Think about it. Another
Yeah,
I think
coincidence.
it's
We're on
yes.
Brother Sister Smart Done Fun, talking about the Appalachian Trail. One of the
Yep.
sisters happens to mention that you should write a book. There you go. There you go.
There you go. And then that's a story that you'll tell in your book. So
Oh,
that would be
exactly.
outstanding.
And
Yeah.
promote our podcast and
No,
my
that's
life.
right. Yes.
Sarah Paulson will play you in the movie version.
Ooh, Duncan says Sarah
Oh my
Paulson will play you in the movie version.
Good one.
I know, right? See?
No, Reese Witherspoon played Cheryl Strayed on the PCT hike. And
Exactly.
she wrote a book. Cheryl Strayed wrote a book, and then Reese Witherspoon played her in the movie Wild.
Mhm.
And she didn't do the whole trail.
No, she didn't.
She didn't.
She didn't. She couldn't because of blizzards earlier that season. She couldn't do it. And she was like beating herself up about it. But again, it wasn't about, finishing. She wasn't finishing the trail. She was finishing a journey. So
Right.
it's very different. That's a very different thing.
Mhm.
And yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue.
All right. So, all right. We know Jackie's story, why Jackie wanted to do this. So, Jeannie, tell us why you wanted to follow your sister on this quest.
Well,
Mhm.
so I was home with my parents for the last few years, and Jackie kept saying, "You should come on the trail. You should come on the trail with me." And I was like, "How do I do that?" And then just now, circumstances have allowed me to do that since our parents have both passed on at ripe old ages. So, our dad passed on last year at almost 98 years old. And so this year was the first year that I'm not working and I'm off all summer, and I was able to do that. So I've always wanted to do it and just experience what she was experiencing. And so, yeah, it was just a perfect time to do it.
And what was your opinion of the trail? so far?
Oh, so many things. I have so many opinions.
It's like, why
Can we?
the hell
Can
am I
you?
out here?
No, I'm so glad I did it.
Can you tell us one opinion of what you had?
Yeah, no, I'm
Okay.
so glad I did it because it was just such a cool challenge. And I'm proud of myself for doing 180 miles, but I also feel like insignificant for doing 180 miles. But after they've done.
Well, you have all these through hikers passing you,
Yeah.
and they've done
1,500
miles, and they're on their last 500.
And how many
Yes.
miles of the Appalachian Trail have you walked?
Oh, I just looked at a map for the first time today, so I feel very accomplished.
Good job, because I've also walked exactly 0 miles of the trail. So, Jeanne, you're amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
Wait,
exactly. You know what?
we have
we have a comment.
we have a commentary from Janet Anderson.
Aww.
See,
She's a friend of mine from school.
that's
See?
awesome.
Big
Yeah.
inspiration. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So
Correct. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So
okay.
it was just it was something I wanted to do with Jackie and see how just to see what she's been doing. It's different watching the videos. So, like, I watched all her videos when I was taking care of my parents, and when you get out there, it's a completely different thing. So it was fascinating and awful and amazing and painful and joyful and so many things.
Nice.
very
Nice.
good. Very good.
I have a question that's a little bit off. Jeannie, how did you feel about the first time you got to like pee in a toilet again after you were on the trail?
You know what? The first one that comes to mind is we were at a camp. There was like a campground in the first town we got to. I can't remember what town it was now. But there was a camp called Father Tom's.
Yeah.
And it was a really pretty camp.
It was south of
in
Williamstown.
the middle of a town,
Mhm.
and they had porta potties instead of pit privies.
Mhm.
So privies
Nice.
are like pit toilets, you know.
Mhm.
But these were porta potties, and they smelled like chemicals and glorious.
They smelled so good.
Like after sitting in a privy, or I was
Like
like,
a
I
hole?
never
Could be a
thought
hole that you dug.
it would smell so good.
Look at me. I feel like a princess.
I know, I was like sitting on a toilet that I didn't feel uncomfortable sitting on, and
You
it
hear
was-
angels when you see one.
So you found God in a porta potty. I love that.
I love that. It's like, there you go. That's part of your memoir right there.
Yeah, because when I did my field study, I lived in a tent for about, I don't know, 8 weeks. And that first night that I slept in a real bed and like instead of having to walk half a mile to the bathroom, just like wandering 10 steps to the bathroom, it was like the greatest poop ever in my entire life, you know?
So
When
true.
was this?
This was back in like this is like 30 years ago. This is when I was finishing college because I have a geology undergrad, and you do a a several week field study, and so we're on this middle of nowhere in Colorado, and you're at a campground, but the bath the facilities are not close, and so if you got to poop in the middle of the night, you're like you have two choices: you can dig your own hole and poop in the ground, or you can walk the half a mile to the bathroom, and it's night. There's tarantulas and scorpions and coyotes, and so you're like, I don't really want to poop in this hole, so. So you walk to the bathroom, and it's that first night where you're like actually there's carpet instead of cactus, and there's a toilet instead of a hole. It's nice. Yeah,
It's nice.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah, for sure. I totally
Yeah.
get that.
You don't realize how much you appreciate it. A flushing
exactly.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, it just goes
I-
away.
I love it every time it happens. I got to tell you. Guts to tell you. Take my waste away.
I feel like there's a song in there. Take my waste away.
Again,
Okay.
we digress.
Yes. So classy. I know. Anyway. All right. So this question is for both of you. Anne, would you like to take this question for them?
Yes. How do you prepare? How does one prepare to do this? Because, that seems,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's one of the things that seems so daunting is like, oh, I couldn't possibly do this. I could never be prepared enough. So what do you do? What, like, where do you start?
I read several books. I
Mhm.
watched tons of YouTube videos. There's quite a few really good YouTubers out there that do gear reviews, and one of my favorites that almost everyone you meet on the trail has heard of her, has watched her videos. Her name is Homemade Wanderlust. Her trail name is Dixie, and I've been watching her for a bunch of years now.
Since before you were on the trail.
Way before I was on the trail. There's a guy named Dan Becker. I think he's a Michigander, and he does awesome gear reviews. I learned a lot from him, like what kind of air mattress to take. He had really excellent ideas. What kind don't take. And then another one is Darwin on the Trail. He does excellent videos. So I watched lots of videos, read lots of books, and really it's trial and error. So everybody's different in what kinds of gear that they want out there. You have to be out there for days to realize you don't need this and you don't need that, and how much weight you're willing to carry. We always tried to keep it under 30 pounds with food and water, I think. No, I think,
with food and water.
Yeah, so our base weight was like in the low teens, I think. So you add your food and water, and we try to keep it under 30 pounds. That's so heavy when you're out there. Like there were so many times I wanted to drop my pack on the ground and kick it off a mountain so many times.
I'm glad you didn't do that.
Yeah. So it's really trial and error, going out there and seeing what works for you.
And I learned from her.
Watching my videos.
Watching her videos, and she just told me what I should get.
I did. I'm like, get that. No, you don't need that. Yeah.
And then
Love that.
while we were traveling, the first 2 towns that we were in, I sent back a pound or 2 of stuff that I was like, yeah, I really don't know.
You think that every ounce, like, this is only an ounce, this doesn't matter, I can keep this. It all adds up. So even a pound is like, woohoo, I got rid of a pound.
Little things make big things. Yeah.
Totally.
So.
Okay. All right. Very good. So read, watch videos, listen to other people that have done it, and then you just got to get out there and try it.
Just got to do it.
Okay.
All right. So that leads into this next question. 3 pieces of advice that you'd give to anyone, even in the thinking stages of doing this.
3 pieces of advice.
That it's going to hurt more than you think, and that you have to really know your limits and make sure be smart about stopping when you need to, and listen to your body.
Listen to your gut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your body's telling you need to stop. You need to stop. There was one day Jackie said, I can't do another mile right now. I said, she said, I don't think I have it in me. But we were not in a spot we could camp. So we had to go another.
Like at least maybe half mile.
And it was all uphill.
And we had to carry, we filled our water at that moment because we knew where we were camping, we wouldn't have water. So we each of us filled 3 containers of water.
So we had 6 liters.
Another 6 pounds.
6 pounds each, yeah.
Yikes.
Wow.
Okay.
2 liter bottles is 2-point-something pounds. So we each had an extra 6 pounds climbing up for the last little bit of the day.
I seriously,
So fun.
a bad movie. Like I was like, honestly, didn't think we were, but we did. We found a spot that was flat enough to camp and self-camped that night, didn't we?
We did.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, we found a little spot in the woods off the trail.
Yeah. So
Cool.
just listen to your body.
But also do your own thing. Like, I think when I first went out there in 2019, I was really determined to keep up with different people because I wanted to be part of a tramily. It's the name of a trail family. Like, you start to notice certain people that you're hiking around, and you see them at the end of the day. You might see them in town, and you see them more often than not. And then you form a family. And I desperately wanted to be part of a trail family. And I never could because I was just so slow based on age and experience and whatnot. You just got to hike your own hike and not worry about it. So advice is, you just got to do your own thing and not worry about people passing you. or people catching up to you or whatever. You just have to do your own thing.
Okay.
So Jackie, then you've done sections of this by yourself then.
When I first went out there, I started with my son Joey. He did the first like 10 days with me, and then he had other obligations, so he left, and I was really on my own for a month and a half or so. And most every day I hiked alone. I cried every day. Seriously, I cried. This is my feet. My feet were a mess. That's just a whole different topic that I could spend a whole hour talking about your feet and what you should or shouldn't do. But yeah, and then I met met different people I hiked with for several days at a time. And then they would move on because they were usually faster than me, or one particular person left the trail, so I was on hiking with that person. And then I met someone that you could see on my YouTube videos. His trail name is Hulk Hogan, and I hiked a ton with him. And I went back on the trail 2 different times with him after that. We hiked a similar pace. We had fun together. We sang together. We had we formed our own little tiny tramily.
That's good. I love it.
Never wander off the trail. This is 3. This is number 3.
Okay.
Never wander off the trail to go pee or poop without your phone, because
You've no idea. Most people don't have any idea how fast you don't see the trail. As soon as you step off the trail, walk even 10 feet, you can't see the trail in a lot of places because it's on the ground. And there's so many trees that you cannot see the trail. And so when people get lost, that's like the highest percentage of reason people get lost.
Well, people have died hiking that trail because they leave the trail. So
to go pee or to camp or whatever. And so, you learn to figure out, like, I would plant my trekking poles and look back and see what marking, like trees or stand out, so that when you walk back, you're like, okay, I noticed that thing and that, and so you work your way back. But
and the app, thankfully, there's an app that helps you. Like, if you're off the trail, it's a GPS thing, so you can see exactly where the trail is, so you can follow that. So
it's
that's
awesome.
That's always have your phone when you go off.
Yeah, but if you lose your battery dies.
So you have to just be
smart.
Yeah.
So where do you charge up your battery? Are there places along the trail where you can charge your battery of your phone?
We took battery packs,
backup battery.
So that would last probably 3-4 days for the amount of time we were using our phones. But then every 4 days ish, we were
5-6 days, a couple times.
Yeah, we were in a town that we
charge everything up in town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very.
All right, and you want this next one?
Yeah. Was there any point in the journey that you feared for your life?
Not me.
No.
Okay.
Not really. I was scared a few times, like when I was camping alone.
I feared for her life. The first time she went out, that like a week into her trip, there was a guy on the trail with a machete killing people. And I saw that on the news, and I was like,
I caught word of it really quick, because the Appalachian Trail is like a massive linear communication system. I found out right away, and
he was
not mentally
dude
right.
That needed, like,
it was a long ways. It was down in Virginia, and I was up in Maryland or further north than that even.
Yeah, but it was just freaky.
It's still scary, and it's so rare that kind of thing happens.
So, like on average, like on any given day, how many people do you normally encounter on the trail?
Like one day we saw like 2 people maybe,
but other days we saw 20.
Yeah, so it just totally depends.
But never no one. I mean, we always saw someone going by.
Yeah. One guy was named. He had the kilt. What was his name?
Gandalf, or there were a lot of Gandalfs.
Yeah. But he was kind of
Did
weird.
you say
like,
there were a lot of Gandalfs?
Everybody has a trail name.
Yeah.
Trail names. People that have staffs are often called Gandalf.
There's a lot of Lord of the Rings trail names out there. Yeah.
Oh, I bet there is.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of hiking that takes place in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. There just is. That's Tolkien's universe is lots of hiking. So
I'm sorry. What was it?
Princess.
What's yours, Jeannie?
Hiccup.
She got her name while we were out there.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again?
Hiccup.
Hiccup?
You said
Yeah.
hiccup
Okay.
Yeah.
because you
You heard
had
that
those
right.
a lot.
No, I really don't, but I often will do the.
She has really bizarre hiccups that are very loud.
I once in like I just have these random ones, and then the reason was because our last name is Hicks.
I was thinking it would be really cool to be what was it?
Two Hicks.
Two Hicks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's cute. Maybe that's why you just did Moose, because you scared them away with your hiccups.
Your hiccups. Actually, that's going to be your nickname forever. Now I'm just going to call you, Yo, Jeannie Hiccups. What's up?
I was little hickey or hicker or in high school because I was the fifth kid.
Mhm.
And so I was
Little
talking about
hickey.
that to this one woman, and she was like, "Oh, hiccup! You're a hiccup!" I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, you
That's
usually
your
get
nickname.
named by someone else while you're out there.
There you go.
Yeah. There were a couple times I maybe feared a little bit for my life.
Mhm.
There are some really, really exposed areas along the trail in every state. Like you're climbing some really crazy places. And there were a few times where I'm like, I can't do that. How am I supposed to climb down that? And you're looking like straight down where you have to turn around and get handholds and footholds to get down certain ledges. And there were a few times that I was like, I didn't necessarily fear for my life, but I was scared. I
Mhm.
took the pack off and just let it roll down a few places and then climbed it and then went on my way. But
Actually, there was a time when we were on the top of what was the
Killington.
on Killington. There was a spot where we had to go up 2.2 miles. And when we get to the top,
It's a
there
scramble.
was another 0.2 miles. Almost, I would say it's like a 75-degree angle on boulders.
Oof.
Mhm.
And
We
I
didn't have
was-
full packs, but
thankfully we didn't have full packs.
Mhm.
But I would sort of, if I stood up at all, I felt like
yeah, you used to be careful to lean in a little. Lean in.
like I could have fallen backwards and just done.
Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
That
yeah.
sounds exciting.
Yeah,
It's a little nerve-wracking
Yeah.
at times.
Mhm.
it sounds like
Quite
it.
different.
Yeah.
You're a kid and you're doing that kind of stuff.
All right. So, all right. This next question, and this is for both of you, but maybe more for Jeannie, since Jackie, you've been on so much of the trail. But will you go back and to a different part of the trail? And if so, which part of the trail will you go back and hike?
Where is that awesome place where it juts out
That's in Virginia.
in Virginia? I think I would go to Virginia because of that cool like overlook.
Are
Mhm.
you talking about this one right here?
It's called McAfee Knob. It's the
Is it-
most iconic place on the whole trail.
And Jackie most photographed, and Jackie got to do that part, and I did not. So
Okay.
it's so gorgeous.
It's like halfway down the trail in Virginia.
Yeah, that's extremely cool.
Mhm. That's very
high.
cool. Mhm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is.
Yeah, I would
So,
totally do
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, I can see why you would want to do that. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
All
very
right. And
cool.
so Jackie, since you've already got, 1,000 plus miles, where's your next part? Where are you going next?
Oh, well, I've been talking about doing, so the North Country Trail, it's a trail that runs through 7 states. It goes from New York through Ohio. It goes all the way through Michigan, through the UP, through Wisconsin, through Minnesota.
Mhm.
Oh, there's
That
more
sounds
going on.
amazing. Yeah.
But the trail going through Michigan, I've wanted to do the whole North Country Trail from the bridge to Wisconsin. So the whole UP.
Plus the
I've done it.
porcupines.
The Porcupine Mountains. I think that would be beautiful. So I
Sure,
keep bugging her,
definitely.
let's do that. But there's a lot of bugs on that trail. The
do
mosquitoes
it.
are
Got to do it after the first freeze.
this
The-
big, and the flies are
The
horrible.
flies are from hell.
Yeah.
Got to
from
be like
hell.
October.
It's got to be late in the year, so you have to have the right kind of gear to do that.
But
and
you
it's
also have to watch out for the snow. You
Yeah.
get up into October in that
That's
part
like
of the
a
world for sure.
500 mile stretch.
Wow.
Okay.
But we've
Right.
also we were talking about the
El Camino
the El Camino.
in Spain and France, which is
Oh, okay.
way
That's
more my
cool.
style because it's got wine and cappuccinos.
You stay at hostels every night, and you have like a cooked meal every night. It's more of a spiritual journey. That's
Right.
one of the oldest treks in the world. It's flatter.
Mhm.
Doesn't it end up at some church in Spain with a giant, like,
On the
yeah,
ocean.
Yeah.
yeah. Who is it? Martin.
Martin Sheen and
Yeah,
is-
and
The way.
Emilio Estevez. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
shockingly good movie.
that would be really
That would be a
cool.
sweet hike because you're not carrying a ton of weight, and
Mhm.
500 miles.
you're meeting tons of people. It's about 500. So that would be a really cool journey.
I think you should
Agreed.
do that one. I vote for
Yeah.
that one.
I vote for that one too. Life coach is telling you to do
Let's
that
do
one.
it.
So
Let's
yeah.
do it.
Four sisters.
Wait, what? Say what
What
now?
now? Sorry, what now?
Oh no, we were gonna live vicariously through you guys. So
Through you,
yeah,
You guys do
yeah,
that.
yeah, do that.
Coming with
You
us.
guys would totally rock that trail.
You totally would. Let's make it a plan.
Okay. All right. Hey, we know him.
All four of you do that one. Wow, Tony. Tony, what? I'm sorry, Tony. You're breaking up. We can't seem to. Yeah, we lost you. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, look how clever Tony is.
Tony.
Duncan.
What did he say?
He said that you and Tony should hike the El Camino Trail. Get a couple months off.
No, he wants us to go do it. He wants us to go so he can. Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
leave and they'll have time off from us. And
Oh yeah, so they can just not clean the bathroom and play more video games. Okay, cool. That's go see some Marvel movies.
Don't worry, there's another one coming out soon because we saw a preview for it the other night when we went and saw the new Alien movie. So there you
there's
go.
a new Alien movie?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you know what? It was good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
surprisingly
go.
good.
So
Uh,
we're
winner,
talking about
winner,
that
chicken dinner.
later.
Thanks, Tony. You're the man.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, so we have a couple more questions, and actually, I want to know more about the foot thing. We'll get to that at the end, though. All right, so Anne, why don't you take this next question?
What was the piece of equipment that you had that was indispensable? So, what piece of equipment did you have that you would take and you would tell everybody else to take too?
Well, so mine's kind of boring. Trekking poles is mine. I love my trekking poles, and my tent is it's a ultralight tent, and it requires your poles to set it up. You can you can get the poles for the tent, but so it just reduces your weight because you don't have to carry poles.
Multitasking poles. That's genius.
Right. But my trekking poles, I think Jeannie found too, that they kept me from falling many, many times.
So many times.
Yeah, because you're always going up or you're always coming down. You're never flat on the Appalachian Trail. And we did have one day in Vermont where we were like, we're not gonna say anything, like we don't want to jinx it because
It was gorgeous.
it was an amazing, wide open, flat trail.
Meadows.
Like, are we in Michigan? What? So that was cool. But
Mostly it was so rocky, rooty.
so
up
trekking
and
poles
down.
have saved my life many times.
Okay.
She's got a funnier one.
This is mine, and Jackie has one too. And this hung on the front of my pack, and it is my
Ta-da!
pea style.
What's your pee thingy? Yay!
Yay!
Oh, it's your plastipenis.
Yeah, so you just like step a couple feet into the woods.
Don't tell
and-
anyone that because you're not supposed to just go right near the trail.
Yeah, everyone does. And then you just cup it and go, and then we just use some leaves and
Wipe it off, put it away.
and then put it away. And Jackie learned the hard way that you have to dry it.
Duncan,
Could you explain?
What did he say?
he said, "Can you explain cupping it?"
I think you could figure that one out. This is
I have the anatomy, so I don't.
she currently has no. There's still leaves in hers.
Yeah, it is. It's got leaves. I haven't washed mine yet. So yeah.
Ew.
But anyway, Jackie learned the hard way that you
So
have to dry it.
I initially carried this one, and it's not foolproof. It's really difficult to use. It took me a while to get the hang of
look
it.
at the difference in the cup.
This isn't really a cup. It's not meant to be a cup. So
Yeah, I don't, Jackie, I don't know. That looks like a fucking shoehorn. What the
I
hell?
know, exactly. I was like, am I supposed to stick that part way in me, or what am I supposed to do with this?
I
So
got
like,
the hang of it, but it's not easy, and so but this is way more.
User friendly.
would just really like kind of like a small bucket to jam under there if I'm going to pee in that. So
But these just hung on our packs.
And then
okay,
at night, if you don't want to get out because it's cold or it's buggy or it's rainy, you can use that and put the tip into your bag, into a different bag. I don't use the
She
same.
should have marked it a little bit better.
I did. I had one that said pee and one that had water on it, and you like could pee right in your tent.
nice.
And you don't have to come get out with the bears and the raccoons and the foxes.
So basically, you guys got a chance of having your own penis and seeing what all the fuss is about. So
Oh my
yay.
gosh, the first time I used something, I created my own out of some plastic and just curled it up and used it as a funnel.
Yeah.
I laughed hysterically because I've never peed standing up in my life, and it was like the most amazing thing ever.
Jerks. They're jerks.
They're,
Now we know why they're always the president.
so you don't have to take your pack off
Or your pants.
or your pants.
Okay.
There you go.
Keep your pants on. Keep your pack
pants
on. Become efficient. I love it.
Exactly.
Love it. Pretty soon they're gonna create some underwear where that's in it, and then it just pops out. So there you go.
Let's get on that. Let's
We should call them pee panties. All right, I love it. All right, just full of good ideas today. All right, all right. So, what piece of equipment did you have that was a total waste of time?
Did you have one? Deodorant.
Yeah, I can see that being a waste of time. Yeah.
I have different feelings about that. I had a hard time being stinky like that.
And sunscreen.
Oh,
Because
Good
it's so
point.
shady.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's something you send home right away.
I had too many shirts and too many hats that I had packed, so I sent some of that home. I sent home like I had a bottle that would a hand sanitizer bottle that was hanging on my pack. I ended up keeping the bottle but getting rid of the hanger part. Like there were so many things. There were a bunch of things I sent home. What else did I send home? I can't think of anything else.
It's just duplicates of things. Like you had a couple different hats that, yeah.
So yeah.
What did you eat?
Oh, so many yummy things.
A lot of weird stuff. So like you can get all the food that you want at the Dollar General.
Yes, you can.
It's basically it's a lot of prepackaged crap. So not your normal healthy diet. Like for breakfast, we'd often have Quaker oatmeal, which is fine, whatever. It's a little sugary for me, but then coffee, like instant coffee with some hot chocolate in it. And then at lunch, we often had a tuna packet, either a tuna salad or just plain tuna and some crackers, and then maybe a granola bar or a power bar.
We took oat milk, powdered oat milk, and had granola in the morning to pour water in there. That a nice change instead of granola or oatmeal.
Couple of our dinners, one's called a ramen bomb, and you make ramen and then you add instant mashed potatoes to it.
It's a popular trail food.
Yep.
That sounds good.
no, it doesn't. It sounds terrible.
Well, I get that.
Okay.
Carbs on top of carbs.
Carbs on top of carbs, as Duncan
You
says.
need it if you're on the trail.
That's true.
Hell
That's
yeah.
true.
Hell yeah.
One of our last meals was one of our favorites was these little tortillas with the bagged diced chicken. Like you can get, like you can get tuna packs in the foil. You can get chicken like that too. So you put chicken on that, and then we added jerky onions and Cheetos.
Ooh. Yummy! And get that look off your face.
It's actually
It's so good when you're hungry.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I bet.
Jeanne brought matcha
powder,
and so we would make matcha on like
matcha lattes.
middle of the day. We'd heat up some water and drink matcha boost.
We had a lot of dehydrated beef jerky, dehydrated
I thought you said dehydrated dirt for a second. I was like, yeah, I bet you're eating a lot of dirt.
Turkey jerky, whatever you can take that's super light.
Cool.
Okay, so when I was getting my master's degree, Jenny and I did a field study, part of a group that did some monitoring on the Green River in Wyoming and parts of Colorado and Utah. And when Jenny talked me into doing this, because it was like 10 days, was it 10 days?
It was 10
I
days, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh man, there's gonna be such shitty food. I was hating that. And it turns out it was catered the entire time.
Oh, if there was a
Yeah, it
place-
was amazing.
It was amazing.
We had a camp cook, so we'd get done for the day, and then we'd go into camp, and like all the kitchen would all be set up, and we had our own little like meal, like our little dishware kits. Yeah, the food was
Yeah.
so good.
It was so, we would finish with our field study work, and there'd be wine and cheese. I mean, it was amazing. That's what I want. It's not too much to ask to have, like, when I get to my campground, somebody has pork tenderloin and mashed potatoes for me.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine that. That would be
It
like
was so great. Yeah, if
was
you're
so
interested,
great.
they probably still have them. Colorado School of Mines runs a teacher enhancement program. So like all of the, when you're a teacher, you have to get a bunch of credit hours, in order to stay certified. And you could get all of your credits through School of Mines. And they just had a catalog with class after class after class. And this particular catalog offered 5 graduate credits for a 10-day field study of the Green River. And it was so effing cool. But so you'd spend your day in the field, but then you come back to camp and then you'd eat. It was awesome.
and there were
I
probably
loved it.
actual beds.
No, we had our own tents and cots and things like that. So we didn't have actual beds, but so we had to fend for ourselves when it came to our tents and stuff like that. But we were pretty comfortable overall. Yeah, there was only a couple nights where it was like really cold, and you're like, I'm genuinely going to freeze to death in this tent. And then your tent, the guy in the tent next door is telling you that just treat yourself to a Cleveland steamer, which is where you fart in your
no,
sleeping
Jenny,
bags.
that was me. That was
Oh, that
me.
was you.
That was me. I was like, man, I just farted in my sleeping bag and now I'm toasty. And the guy next was like, Cleveland steamer, baby.
That's
and
right.
that's how we became friends.
Oh
After that, it was the funnest.
Yeah, it was. It was a fun couple of weeks, and we met some really great people on that trip. So yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
that's as roughing it as I've been in quite some time. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
we were a little nervous about the weather because when Jackie went out last year or 2 years ago, it was cold in New Hampshire, and so I brought a lot of stuff that was for really much colder weather
and higher altitude,
and our sleeping bags were much colder. Much warmer than they needed to be. So the first couple of weeks we were really hot in our tents.
yeah, that's really tough though, because you just never quite know. I mean, you can get
you don't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I have a lighter sleeping bag I wish I had taken, but you just don't know.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
So, well, you guys, we have hit our hour plus. So let's go ahead and give a great big thank you to Jackie White and Jeanne Caselli. And congratulations, you guys. More than anything, congratulations for doing this, because what an outstanding achievement. So we have a comment. We have Pam. Oh, gosh. How do you say that?
Mazurkowitz.
Thank you. Pamela A. Mazurkowitz.
Hi, Pam.
Awesome,
Thanks,
Jen.
Pam. Hi, Pam.
Yay. That's fantastic. Yeah, I love that. Thanks. We have some new viewers today. So thanks, Janet and Pamela, for joining us today. And for those of you that were joining but didn't chime in, we love you too. So
Exactly.
yeah, but humongous thank you. We have tote bags and stickers. Jeanne, we got to do better than a tote bag for you this time. You got a tote bag last time, or did you? Did we give
I
you?
don't think I got my tote bag.
What? Oh man, now we owe you. Now we owe you like a T-shirt and a tote bag. Oh my God.
Shame for shame.
You're the
Shame.
worst.
Hey, and if anybody's listening, I just want to say I listened to your show on Gwen Frosticks, and that was so awesome.
Yeah.
I went there as a counselor. We used to work in Frankfurt, or I used to work at a camp in Frankfurt. So that was really fun. So listen to their podcast, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay. Yay. Thanks, you guys. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, you guys, tote bags for you, and we would love you guys to come back on when you guys do your next leg, because I'm positive you're going to do another leg together, and it's going to be amazing. And then when you guys do the El Camino, you can tell us all about that too. So
You're gonna come with us.
I'm not going to say no to that, because I don't like to say no to stuff. So
Right. I'm not going to say
to
no,
to that.
but
I'm just going to say, nah,
Okay.
brah.
It would be an awesome experience.
Yeah, I think it would be. I actually think it would be amazing. So,
I do too. I
uh,
do too.
yeah, I'm not going to say no, but I will say I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Brush up on your Spanish.
Oh, damn it, that's the wrong one.
Hi,
We have
Julia.
Wait, how do you say that last name? These last
Waslick.
names, what the hell?
Waslick.
Waslick.
Okay. Hi,
Yeah, it's
Julia.
Julia.
Hey, Julie.
Duncan says hi, Julie.
So famous.
Aw.
It's awesome. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap things up. To our listeners and watchers, you did it. You spent another hour plus with us where you learned things about stuff. Today you learned all about Jackie White and Jeanne Caselli's trip down the Appalachian Trail, 180 miles. How many days was that?
23?
We were on the trail an actual 22 or 23 days with 3 or 4 0 days that you don't hike.
Okay.
Okay. That sounds
So
fair.
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
well,
totally
not
fair.
bad, I don't think.
Right on. Well, so there you go. That's what you learned about today. And remember, you guys, we very much want to hear from you as our listeners. So please answer our poll questions, leave comments, give us your questions, concerns, comments, and confessions. That's right. We want to hear your confessions about stuff. Like, for instance, I didn't get to show you this today. So one of the things that Jeanne confessed to us is that
Oh.
she fell down at
Oh.
one point and hurt herself. And
Oh.
you thought you were going to get away with that. Not a chance. This is the bruise that ended up on Jeannie's backside. This is the picture she sent, and she cropped out the part where you could see her butt crack, but there it is. That is not a bruise. That is a contusion. That usually requires hospitalization or something. So anyway, that's the closest thing we will get to a confession, and that's okay. Remember, you can support us for free by following us, liking us, subscribing us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. We would love that. That'd be amazing.
That would be.
And please join us next week. We are doing a review. We will have our crack entertainment expert, Chip Maley, with us next week as we review the series Hacks, which can be found on HBO Max. It's a fantastic series, funny as hell. If you like comedy, if you like stuff that's poignant and interesting, Hacks is amazing. We will be reviewing the series Hacks, which has been nominated for a couple different Emmys, I think. So there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and bring us with our amazing show music. So there you go, Brand. All right. Thanks again, you guys, for joining us. We appreciate it. Again, a humongous. Say that again.
Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Our pleasure.
Again, you guys. Until next week, I'm Janice Brothers, and with me is my sister.
And brothers.
That's right. We want you to get out there and do something smart, do something dumb, do something fun. We are out of here.